أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, speaking to one of his companions, said, "Do not be opportunists, saying, I am with the people and I am one of the people." Again, Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam said to one of his companions, "Do not be opportunists, saying, I am with the people and I am one of the people." قال الإمام الصادق عليه السلام لرجل من أصحابه: لا تكونن إمعة، لا تكونن إمعة، تقول أنا مع الناس وأنا كواحد من الناس. لا تكونن إمعة، تقول أنا مع الناس وأنا كواحد أو كواحدا من الناس. With Islamic laws, we reach to the things which invalidate prayer. Issue number 1133. 12 things which make prayer void, and they are called mubtilat. Number 1, if any of the prerequisites of a prayer ceases to exist while one is in salah. Like what? Like if he comes to know that the dress with which he has covered himself is a usurped one while he is in salah. He finds that the dress, his garment, his dijdash, for example, is what? Is a usurped dress. In this case, the salah is what? The salah is void. 2, second, if a person intentionally or by mistake or uncontrollably commits an act which makes his wudu or ghusl void, like when urine comes out, even it is discharged forgetfully or involuntarily after the salah, after the last sajda of the prayer, even after the last sajda of the prayer, he has an act which invalidates his salah or which invalidates his wudu as well, his salah is what? Is void. But if a person is incontinent, definitely we are talking about whom? About the person who is a right person, not a sick one. Not a sick one. But if a person is incontinent, he is sick, he suffers from ailment. But if a person is incontinent, unable to control urine or excretion, unable to control urine or excretion, his prayer will not be void. His prayer will not be void. If definitely this person, he is incontinent, he cannot control his urine or excretion, so his prayer will not be void if he acts according to the rules explained early in the chapter of wudu. I think we talked about these issues before. Similarly, the same hukum, that means the salah is not void if a woman sees the blood of istihada during prayer. Her salah is not invalidated. In general, no. not in general. If she has acted according to the rules of istihada. If she acts according to the rules of istihada, her salah is what? Is valid. But if she does not act according to the rules of istihada, in this case, her salah is what? Is void. But yeah. Similarly, if a woman sees the blood of istihada during a prayer, her salah is not invalidated if she has acted according to the rules of istihada. Issue number 1134. If a person sleeps involuntarily, not knowing whether he slept during salah or afterwards, he doesn't know whether he slept during salah or he slept after salah, after performing his salah. It will not be necessary for him to repeat the prayer, provided, definitely prayer that he did already. Look, this person now, he slept. When he woke up, he does not know whether he slept. Yes.
He slept during the salah?
No, he slept. This person, he slept. Definitely when he slept, that he is invalidated what? His wudu. Now, the question is, did he sleep before the salah? In the salah or after the salah? This is the question. Have you got it? Did he sleep while he is performing salah, or he slept after salah, after performing salah? Because I have two cases, I have two حكم right now. نريد نعرف إنه هل هو نام أثناء الصلاة لو نام بعد الصلاة، لأن أثناء الصلاة إلى حكم بهاي صلاته يعيدها، وإذا بعد الصلاة هاي صلاته صحيحة ما يعيدها، ما عندنا هذا اللي ندور عليه شيخي حبيبي. If a person sleeps involuntarily, not knowing whether he slept during salah or afterwards, it will not be necessary for him to repeat the prayer, provided he knows that he has not performed anything less than the usual salah. That means he doesn't know whether he slept in his salah or after salah. He doesn't know. Now what is the hukum? The hukum is that his salah is what? His salah is valid. This previous salah is valid, and there is no need to what? To repeat the previous salah. And provided that he knows, على شرط إنه علم, provided that he knows that he has not performed anything less than the usual salah, على شرط إنه عند علم إنه ما سوى أي شيء أقل من شنو؟ من الصلاة الواجبة اللي عليه. If a person knows that he slept voluntarily but doubts whether he slept after or during the prayer, look, he doubts whether he slept after or during the prayer, or he forgot during the prayer that he was praying and fell asleep, his prayer will be valid if the provision stated above is fulfilled. Have you got this? We have another issue. Maybe you will find that you say that this issue is exactly as the previous one, but it is not. Look. Voluntarily. Voluntarily, and he has a doubt. Sheikh Faz. Voluntarily, and he has a doubt. If a person knows that this issue number 1135, if a person knows that he slept voluntarily but doubts whether he slept after or during the prayer, whether he slept after or during the prayer, or if he forgot during the prayer that he was praying and fell asleep, he forgot. Look, his prayer will be what? Will be valid. Will be valid. Why? Because بعد تمام العمل هذا الشك, this doubt is after the act, and in such case, any doubt after the act, we consider that act is what is valid. Is valid. Is this understood? Okay. بلي. أي قاعدة الفراغ. قاعدة الفراغ بالضبط. If a person knows that he slept voluntarily but doubts whether he slept after or during the prayer, or if he forgot during the prayer that he was praying and fell asleep, his prayer will be what? Will be valid if the provision stated above is fulfilled. ها؟ لا ما يعتني أبدا بعد الفراغ شيخي بعد الفراغ. Issue number 1136. If a person wakes up in sajda, if a person wakes up in sajda and doubts whether he is in the sajda of the salah or in the sajda for what? For shukr. He doesn't know. He should pray again if he slept involuntarily. He should pray again if he slept involuntarily. But if he slept intentionally by his will and feels that he probably slept during the sajda of salah due to carelessness, his prayer is valid. Again. If a person wakes up in sajda and doubts whether he is in the sajda of salah or in the sajda of shukr, for shukr, he should pray again if he slept involuntarily. He should what? Pray again if he slept involuntarily. But if he slept intentionally he slept and feels that he probably slept during the sajda, he probably slept during the sajda of salah and feels that he probably slept during the sajda of salah due to carelessness, عدم الانتباه, his prayer is valid. Third, if a person folds his hands as a mark of humility, shattaf, and reverence, his prayer will be void. His prayer will be void. But this is based on a precautionary rule, not as a verdict. إذا تكتف If a person folds his hands as a mark of humility and reverence, his prayer will be void. But this is based on precautionary rule. However, there is no doubt about it being haram. There is no doubt about it being haram if it is done believing that it is ordained by Sharia. Sometimes a person, he think that this is an order from Sharia to fold his hands. He thinks that. Okay? In this case, his salah is what? Is valid. His salah is valid. But if he does so in order to show humility to Allah, if he does so to show humility to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, here his salah is what? Is void. Issue number 1137. There is no harm if a person places one hand on another forgetfully or due to helplessness or taqiyya or for some other purposes like scratching. Doesn't matter. That means such act, if it happens, will never invalidate his salah. Will never invalidate his salah. The fourth one of the mubtilat, the fourth thing which invalidates prayer is to say Amin after Surah Al-Hamd. This rule, when applied to one praying individually, is based on ihtiyat. This rule is based on ihtiyat. But if someone utters it believing that it has been ordained by Sharia, that it has been ordained by Sharia, it is haram. It is haram because there is no such a word Ameen at the end of Alhamd. And if you added something or omit something from the verse of Alhamd or Al-Ikhlas in Salah, your Salah will become what? Will become void. There is no harm if someone utters it erroneously or under taqiyya. He doesn't pay attention and he said Ameen. He doesn't mean it. Okay? Or because of taqiyya, doesn't matter. The fifth thing which invalidates prayer is to turn away from Qibla without any excuse. That means if you have an excuse, your salah would not be what? Would not be void. But if you turn away from Qibla without any excuse, your salah is what? Is void. I mean, if you turn away from Qibla for a reason, for an excuse, your salah is not void. Your salah is not void. But if he is, if there is an excuse like forgetting which direction of Qibla, or an external force, somebody push you away from the direction of Qibla, like a strong wind blowing which turns him away from Qibla, his salah will be valid if he has not deviated towards his right or his left. Provided that, for example, let's say Qibla from this direction. It is in front of me, okay? And I am praying now to directed to Qibla. Somebody came and pushed me away. I turned to this side. It's okay. I turned to this side, doesn't matter. To this side, doesn't matter. But to this side, directly to this side, that will invalidate my salah. The same thing for the other side. But it is necessary that he returns to the direction of Qibla. After somebody or something push me away from the direction of Qibla, I have to go back to the direction of Qibla. As soon as the excuse disappears, and if he turned away towards right or left side, regardless of whether his back is towards Qibla or not, due to forgetting, due to what? To forgetting, he should pray again. He should pray again towards Qibla as soon as he remembers. As soon as he remembers. If there is time left, even for one rak'ah. Even for one rak'ah. Is this understood? Maybe you are in Salat al-Zuhr or in Salat al-Asr, and you forgot that Qibla from this side, you turn and pray from this side. Okay? You forgot. While you are praying, you're in the third rak'ah or in the fourth rak'ah, you remembered this is not the direction of Qibla. It should be like this. You have to turn to what? To face the direction of Qibla. Exactly. In Salah, in your Salah. In your Salah. But if there is no time for even one rak'ah at his disposal, there is no time. Okay? Am I right? Huh? Yes. Huh? Yeah. If there is no time for even one rak'ah at his disposal, then he should continue with the same salah towards Qibla. That means, he said, if I turn back to this direction of Qibla, my salah will be what? Will be qada. I'll be out of the time. I'll be out of the time. But if there is no time for even one rak'ah at his disposal, then he should continue with the same salah toward Qibla. Then he should continue with the same salah towards Qibla, and he will not have to give any qada for that. Okay? But if there is no time for even one rak'ah at his disposal, then he should continue with the same salah towards Qibla, and he will not have to give any qada for that. In this case, he has to continue his salah. That means, if he does not have time to search about what? About the direction of Qibla, and if he searches about the time or the direction of Qibla, alaykum salam Shaykhana. In this case, Jazakum Allah al khair Shaykhana. In this case, he will continue, finish his salah on this direction. But if there is no time for even one rak'ah at his disposal, then he should continue with the same salah towards Qibla, and he will not have to give any qada for that salah. He does not need to give qada for that salah. Similar rule applies to the one who has deviated because of the external forces. Somebody, for example, while he is praying, somebody is pushing him away from the direction of Qibla, and he keeps him that way. He said, if you move from this side, I will kill you. If you move from this side, you pray this side. If you go back to the direction of Qibla, I will kill you. In this case, he has to continue his salah on this side, and there is no need for what? For qada. Issue number 1138. if a person turns his head away from Qibla while his body remains facing Qibla, and if with that turning of the head he is able to see behind partly, look, his face is facing Qibla, and he turned his head, and by turning his head right there he can see some part of his behind. The eye has such ability. This is what we are talking. If a person turns his head away from Qibla while his body remains facing Qibla, and if with that turning of the head he is able to see behind partly, he will be considered to have deviated from Qibla. In such a way, he will be deviated from Qibla, and he will follow the rule explained above. If it is voluntary, involuntary, and if it is external force or not. But if he turning of the head is so minimal that it can be said that his front part of the body is towards Qibla, then his prayer will be valid, though it is makruh to do such thing. It is makruh to do such thing. In Salah, some of the acts which are outside of the acts of Salah, those things or those acts will first of all take your you are not going to concentrate in your Salah, which rak'ah you are, what you are doing. Definitely you are going to forget. That's number one. Number two, it is not a kind of polite way to talk with somebody while you are what? While you are not looking at him. It is not polite. How about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And most of the people, they said, while we are praying, we forgot in which rak'ah we are, or what we are in the Salah. What are the reasons? This is one of the reasons. You are not paying attention to what you are doing and whom you are talking to. This is the problem. Sixth issue. The sixth thing which invalidates a prayer is to talk. To talk, even by uttering a single word consisting of one single letter, even shh, like this, a single word which it has a single letter. It is not. This will invalidate the Salah. Single letter which has a meaning or denotes something. For example, one letter like qi. One letter in Arabic means protect yourself. Or if someone asked a person who is praying as to which is the second letter of Arabic alphabet, and he simply said ba. But if the utterance is meaningless, then if it constitutes two or more letters, constitutes two or more letters, his prayer will be void. Based on precaution. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.